Hey guys, SpinoDude here, and today I'm super excited to be taking a closer look at one of my most requested models to review on the channel. So Marvin, bring it out. Thank you, Marvin. So today guys, we are going to be taking a closer look at this. It is the gorgeous CollectA Swimming Spinosaurus. I've been waiting to get this figure for so long now, and I'm so happy to finally have it in hand. So without further ado, why don't you guys sit back, get some refreshments, and let's get into an in-depth review of this beautiful model. Before we start taking a closer look at the figure, here are a few quick facts about our channel mascot, Spinosaurus. Spinosaurus aegypticus means Egyptian spined lizard. It lived 112 to 97 million years ago in Egypt. It was a flesh-eating carnivore as well as being a fish eater. It was the largest known terrestrial predator, reaching a massive length of 60 feet long and weighing up to 9 tons. Now this particular reconstruction of Spinosaurus was from back in 2014 when scientists got together and examined some newly discovered Spinosaurus fossils. Upon examining different parts of the body that were discovered, they came to the conclusion that Spinosaurus led a mostly aquatic life instead of a terrestrial life. Compared to the previous reconstructions of Spinosaurus aegypticus, the legs are much shorter and the feet are much more adapted for swimming underwater, as well as its sail being a different shape. In mid-2015, this reconstruction of Spinosaurus was dubbed an entirely new species known as Mosasaurus. So as it stands right now, there are two species of animal, Spinosaurus aegypticus and Mosasaurus. Spinosaurus having a more bipedal stance, and Mosasaurus sporting this more crocodilian form. It's still being questioned right now in 2016, but as it stands, Spinosaurus had this very appearance with just some longer legs to help it live in and out of the water. So without further ado guys, let's start taking a closer look at this figure. So we're going to start up at the head, and you can see the lovely color scheme and detail that CollectA has put into this skull sculpt here. The skull shape looks scientifically accurate as well, and I love the crest in the yellow color there. That looks really nice. See, they brought in some red color behind the eyes there. There's mostly a tan color making up the face with some bright green on the tip of the snout there. Black spots going all over the body. You can see the glossy black eye there gives it a genuine wet look. Most of the teeth have been individually sculpted and painted, which is really surprising at such a small scale like this. But I must say, if you get this figure for younger folks, be careful because although these teeth are bendy, they are still quite sharp. You can see some lovely fleshy details on the interior of the mouth. Done really nice. You can see the tongue there. It's been sculpted and painted. Very nice. And moving down the neck, you can see some really crocodilian-like scales starting to come out with these huge bumpy scales. You can see some blotches of bright green being thrown in with the duller green there, along with the black spots and the tan underbelly color. I do like the really wide crocodilian-like scales on the underbelly. Looks really nice. So moving along the body, you can see these large crocodilian scales get even bigger once we hit the midsection of the torso there. Moving down the arm, you can see this arm is sort of being pushed into the side of the body, so you can see the wrinkled skin bunching up around it. I think that's really nice for realism. I think the hands look great. They're in this yellowy color with some black spots there. You see the huge prominent claw that some Spinosaurids are known to have. Moving down the body, you can see some nice stretched skin there. That looks really nice. I love all the black spots on there. Looks great. Color scheme reminds me of something of a modern day crocodile in some areas. Here at the top of the back leg, and you can see in the midsection how it transitioned from this olive green into this tannish yellow back into this olive green. They're sort of jumping between colors here. Moving down the leg, you can see really nice shaping there. You can see the almost duck-like feet that were in this reconstruction, the flaps of skin between the toes that helped it propel itself in the water. See the glossy black claws there. Moving up the sail on the back, you can see the nice black color going over this brown color for the sail. I do really like the shaping of this sail. It looks really nice. You can see some veins of skin going through, and you can even see the backbone parts sticking up through the skin. Now right here where the tail starts, it starts to look really crocodilian, and I really like this because this restoration of Spinosaurus from 2014 was meant to have a more marine-based life. So being reptile-like, it probably had a crocodilian-like tail to help propel itself through the water. So you can see some really nice large scales that we see in crocodiles. Just looks beautiful going along the top there. The entire tail is in this tannish orange color. You can see more of these black spots going down the tail, and the scales get quite large and square. Moving down, there's a nice curve in the tail as it swooshes off to the side. in its swimming position. You can see with these 3 rows of scales just meet up on top very nicely. So switching around to the other side, you can see it's pretty consistent in detail. Right about here you can see where they bring in the underbelly color, the tan color. Moving down the other leg, you can see they bring in the dull olive green color again. And then the foot has the yellowish orange color. You can see the glossy black tipped claws there with the dew claw on the interior. Moving down the body, you can see this flap of skin hanging there again between the leg and the arm. More of these big bumpy scales going on, really nice. In some parts of the body, these blotches of bright green just look awkward to me, especially this one right in the midsection right there. You can see the other side of the sail with the lovely black spots and the skin stretching along the spine there. It looks really nice. Moving down the other arm, this one is hanging more freely with this dull olive green color and the black spots and the yellow colored hand, the glossy black claws. Moving up the neck, you can see that fairly long neck that the new reconstruction of Spinosaurus had as well. And you can see the lovely scales and bumps in the skin, blotch of bright green there and there with the black spots. And we're back up to the other side of the head sculpt here. You can see the red color going around the eye and the lovely crocodilian-like skull and jaw. So in terms of scientific accuracy with this figure, I think it is great. CollectA, you've done a fantastic job. Now for scientific accuracy critique, I'm comparing this to the 2014 restoration, which this was based on, not on the latest restoration of Spinosaurus. I think they've done a fantastic job. The sail is the correct shape, the legs are the right length, brilliant crocodilian looking tail that helped it swim in the water, the large claw on the forearm there, the narrow crocodilian-like skull with the notch in the upper jaw there, as well as the crest in between the eyes. Beautiful. Yeah, I think CollectA has done a phenomenal job with this figure. So you're probably wondering just how big this figure is, so Marvin, bring out the ruler. Thank you, Marvin. Alright, we have our trusty flexi ruler now, so in terms of the length, from the tip of the snout all the way to the tip of the tail, we are looking at exactly 9 inches. And in terms of the height, at the highest point, which is the very top of the sail, we are looking at 3 inches. For comparison, here's the CollectA Swimming Spinosaurus next to the CollectA Hydrotherosaurus. If you want to see the review for this plesiosaur, link is down below. I think these two look good together, especially since this restoration of Spinosaurus is based around aquatic life. But I have to say, I don't know much about Hydrotherosaurus itself, so I can't say if these two are in scale or not, but you can let me know in the comments down below. Next up for comparison, here's the CollectA Swimming Spinosaurus next to the CollectA Liopleurodon. If you want to see the review for this ultimate sea predator, link is down below. I think these two look great next to each other. They may not be in scale perfectly, but they would look great for display on your shelf. And finally, for comparison, here's the CollectA Swimming Spinosaurus next to the ridiculously tall CollectA Diplodocus. If you want to see the review for this huge sauropod, link is down below. Now, I already display these two models next to each other on my shelf, and I think their color schemes and detail just match each other really nicely for display next to each other. I think they scale up next to each other decently as well, although Diplodocus would have never met a Spinosaurus because Diplodocus lived in the Jurassic period and Spinosaurus lived in the Cretaceous period. Well, there we go, guys. That was today's look at the beautiful CollectA Swimming Spinosaurus. I'm very happy with this model. I think the only thing that bothers me a little bit are some of the blotches of bright green on the model, but it's not too distracting from the overall sculpt and paint job. But anyway, this would make a great model for any dinosaur enthusiast, and I'm so happy I got it because it was one of my most requested models to review on the channel. Anyway, guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video because you asked for this review and I got it for you. So leave a like down below and subscribe for more, and as always, I'll see you in the next review. Bye-bye.